welcome back to the Get Up and Glow podcast. I am your host, Madison Haynes, and today we are talking all things spring resets. So, if you are like me, I live in Toronto, Canada, Ontario, and I am so beyond over winter. I am ready for the warmer spring months. I'm ready to not wear pantyhose under my dresses anymore. I'm essentially just ready to level up my life in any way that I can in spring, really do a nice spring reset and get myself prepared and my body ready for summer. So if you guys are on your hot girl walks, or if you are listening to this one cleaning, or if you're just here watching me, hi, hello, how are you? In today's episode, we are going to talk about spring cleaning, spring resets, defining your spring goals. It's time we check in on our 2023 goals we made back in January, see how we're doing with that, what progress we're making, and where we need to pivot and make changes. So by the end of this podcast, you are going to feel so motivated and so ready to go into spring feeling fresh, looking fresh, and becoming essentially prepared for summer. I like to treat new seasons and even new months as if I were to treat the start of a new year. I find this puts me in a good mindset to just consistently self-reflect, redefine my goals, because you change over even a course of a few months. So of course your goals are going to change and develop as you grow and develop throughout the year. So we're going to talk about how to do a spring closet refresh, my spring cleaning tips, my daily, weekly, and monthly tips on how you can glow up every single day and just consistently feel like the best version of you, and so much more. Okay, let's get right into it. So the first thing I love to do during spring is a spring closet refresh. There's so many ways why I love to do this. I am so over winter in Canada. It is so cold and I do not like layering. I am not the biggest fan of winter fashion. So the second I see the blue skies coming, the birds chirping, and the grass starting to peek through the snow, I am ready just to completely swap out my clothes and bring the spring ones in. So if you're like me, I'm about to actually do this today. And if you haven't done this yet, or if you already have, you want to do just a closet essentially refresh and get rid of some of the stuff that you don't need, just a little bit of spring cleaning, this is some great advice. So essentially every single time I do a closet clean out, I am notorious for not getting rid of absolutely anything. I will go through my clothes and look at something and I honestly forgot I even had the item, but because I now remember it, I think, oh, well, now that I know it's there, I think I can wear it for something like this, or I'm pretty sure I'm going to wear it. Because the problem is I like a lot of the items and I know that eventually down the road, I might want to use it for once in a while or for a Halloween costume. So I end up holding on to everything. But about a year ago, I moved out into a condo and things have gotten a lot tighter. So I need to cut back on everything. I cannot be holding on to all of these clothes that I will never wear. And half the time, the ones that I say, oh, I'm going to keep on to this, I'm going to hold on to it because I will wear it. And then by the next time I do a spring closet or a seasonal refresh, it's still there and I've barely worn the item. So my biggest tip is when you are doing a closet refresh or you're essentially going through your closet and trying to find things to get rid of, before you do the big task of, going through every single thing you own, trying them on, getting rid of stuff and having it done from start to finish, what I suggest you do is take inventory of the items you currently have first. Go through everything. Find the stuff that you're just instantly ready to donate. They don't spark joy. It's not your style anymore and you just know it's time to either donate or sell. Put that into a pile. Now the items that you are on the fence about, where you typically would just keep after a closet clear out, hold on to those items, but put them onto one of the sides of your closet and make a commitment for a week or 2 weeks to wear those clothes as often as you can throughout that time period. Now, after that time period ends, whatever you wore, you can keep if you enjoyed it, but you might find as you wear it, you realize it doesn't fit or it's not as comfortable and you remember why you stopped wearing it in the first place, or the ones that you didn't even pick up and gravitate to towards that time period or within that time period, you need to either donate or sell. This is a rule that has worked wonders for essentially pushing me out of that tendency to keep on or hold on to every single piece of items of clothing I have. So I definitely would recommend you do that as a first step before you even start doing your closet clear out. Then after that time period period passes by, it is time to do your typical closet refresh. Go through everything. You might find even after like 2 weeks, you have more stuff you want to purge. Go ahead and do that. Make this a fun experiment or a fun activity. I know it can take so long. I went through all of our clothes back in December when I was doing a little getting my life together before the new year situation, and it took me like 5 hours. And that's totally the thing. I feel like a lot of us girlies decide to wake up at 2 a.m. and want to completely reorganize our entire lives, and then we get way too in over our heads, and we either burn ourselves out because we spent the entire day doing a task that was huge and we didn't realize because we tore everything out of our closets and drawers and now it's just a pile of clothes. Or there's the girlies that just absolutely cannot deal with it, and then they leave all their clothes just everywhere, and it takes a long time to get over that mess. But that is not going to be us this spring. Spring 2023, we're all about being organized, we're all about being efficient. So hopefully with that strategy, when you went through and already did the little bit of inventory a few weeks before, this is going to set you up to essentially go a little bit faster with your closet clear out. Be specific, have fun, play some music. If you live with a roommate or if you live with a partner, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, etc., do that. Have fun with it. Make it a little party. The next thing I would like to talk about doing a spring reset is getting ourselves, our bodies ready for spring. I love to feel like I'm glowing up in spring. That's the time when often, the legs are shown a little bit more, your skin's coming out, and you want to look gorgeous. You want to feel fresh and clean. And I have the tips that I have mastered over the last few years of how I can maintain my beauty without burning myself out, because I know that many of the girls who listen to this podcast work a 9-to-5 job. They're not going to have time to, or the finances to get blowouts every week and get their hair professionally colored every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and get waxings and laser hair removal and all this crazy treatments. I am not talking about that, but I have found the perfect way to do daily, monthly, and weekly maintenance tips that can keep me looking and feeling fresh, and I'm not here to gatekeep, so I'm going to share them with you. So let's talk about what I do on a daily basis to glow up and maintain my beauty, and this has been life-changing, girlies, the half shave. So what is the half shave? We don't have time to do that girl shave every single day where you shave your entire body. It takes way too much time. Nobody has that time before work or after work, or they don't want to do it every single day. But what I swear by is what I call the half shave, which essentially when you're in the shower in the morning or at night, whatever type of shower girl you are, shave your legs, but quickly, if that makes sense. Not super rapidly fast in terms of you're going to be cutting yourself, but don't worry about if you miss spots. In a regular shave, if you were doing it once a week, for instance, you'd be making sure to get all of those patches. You're really paying attention, which is what takes so long. But what I do when I get into the shower every day, I just run the razor across my legs, maybe across my knees, maybe 1 minute per leg. I shave my armpits every day, and etc. So that in total, my daily shaving routine probably takes me a maximum of 3 minutes, but more 1 to 2 minutes. And I find my legs are always pretty smooth. Of course, there's going to be some spots that are a little bit more rigid than others, but because I'm doing this on a daily basis, I find that the spots that I do miss in one day, I cover the next, and my hair doesn't grow back as fast, so my legs are just consistently soft. I also do things like taking my jade roller that I put in the fridge, and I massage my face with it when I apply my cream. I put cream on my feet every single night before I go to sleep. Same with a lip mask, a hair mask as well. And then I just do the skincare basics, which is a double cleanse, a nice cream, and then an acne spot treatment every single day. And do not forget the SPF. Girls, I am telling you, this is a daily you need to incorporate into your routine. Even in the winter, I wear SPF every single day, and I work from home. Half the time, I don't even leave the house, especially during weekdays, admittedly. But wear your SPF. Please, your future self is going to thank you about it. There's been so many studies. Not only does this help protect you from skin cancer, but it also can prevent you from aging. You won't have as many age spots. Your skin is going to look so much better, especially if you do this in your 20s and you do it every single day. Trust me, I am the person that listens to all the beauty tips I can get, and almost every single person who is 50 plus who has gorgeous skin tells me through you too, which you feel like we're friends, wear SPF. And I have started doing this since I was 21, and I will never stop. So ladies, if you're not doing this, get on this right now for spring 2023. I also journal daily in my 5-minute journal and do affirmation cards because I find like part of a glow up is also like feeling good and feeling centered. And I find doing things like daily walks or journaling every single day, even if it's only for a few minutes, really helps put you in that mindset of feeling fresh, feeling good, and motivated. And I think when you set yourself up, like you start your day like that and end your day like that, it just helps get the ball rolling for a really good the next day and the start of your day. And of course, vitamins, drink lots of water. You all have heard this before, but I'm gonna say it anyways, and go for walks. Those are my dailies. I find that keeps me looking and feeling fresh every single day. But now let's talk about weekly beauty maintenance tips. So these tips have completely helped me level up my beauty game. It's totally helped me glow up. And I do these things usually once a week or sometimes twice, maybe 3 times a week, but not every single day. Essentially, I do these things whenever I'm in the mood to do it, but I make sure to prioritize getting them done at least once a week. And that is double shampoo. I do not shampoo my hair every single day, and I don't really have a hair care set routine, like how many days I wash, like every 2 days, every 3 days. I just wash my hair whenever it starts to feel oily. And when I do this, I've started to double shampoo, which is crazy. I've heard people say this is not great, or I've heard people swear by it. I started to do this recently, and I can tell a total difference in my hair. It stays, it doesn't get greasy as frequently, it's looking fresher, and my hair just feels a lot softer as well. But the one thing that has absolutely changed my life, and I've been doing this for the last 4 years, is these scalp massagers. Every single time I go into the shower, when I shampoo my hair, I use those little plastic or the rubber scalp massagers. You can get them from Amazon. I got mine on for a 2-pack for $10.99, and I've literally been using them for 4 years. The second one I just gave away to a friend because that one literally I just keep in my shower. You don't lose it. And I swear by them. It feels great. It's so relaxing. It's like a little spa, but it also helps to stimulate your hair follicles, which help your hair grow. I find it helps my hair look shinier too. I just swear by it so much. My hair, I totally in the last few years have seen a difference. My hair never used to grow ever, and now since I've started using this for so long, my hair just grows so fast. If you're on YouTube, you can see it's quite long, and I will cut it frequently and it keeps growing back. So ladies, try to get one of those Amazon scalp massagers and use it every single time you shampoo. Try out double cleansing or double shampooing, and hopefully you'll see the same benefits as I do. I also dry brush, so you can also get that from Amazon too, and I do that whenever I can. It would be great if I could do it on the daily, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't, because I don't always have the time, and that does take a little bit of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes if I want to really make it into a self-care thing with some music. But when I do dry brush, I notice that not only does my skin feel softer because it does exfoliate it, but if I do it frequently, I can see a difference in cutting down the cellulite on my legs. I think it's because it's known to help, help circulation in your body. So it's really good for you. I wish I could do this more. Maybe in spring 2023, I'm going to make it a goal to try to do it every day, even if it's super quick. But try out a dry brush. I think you're going to see some great results from that. It's a great little glow up tip. Other thing I do weekly, sometimes it's semi-weekly, but I wouldn't put this in the monthly category, is nails. I invested in a gel nail lamp way back when we were in the pandemic because I used to be an acrylic nail girly, and oh my goodness, when I tell you, my nails were gross long to the point where I look back at myself and I just cringe. They were not looking cute. They were a little tacky. And if you're a girly that has long nails, I think long nails can look nice. And of course, with that being said, whatever is your preference and style, that is on you, and rock it with confidence. But when I look back at the length of my nails and the colors and the wacky designs I used to do, it's not on brand with what I am now. I'm more of a classic nail girl. And honestly, I felt forced into buying the gel lamp just because I am so particular with my nails. They always have to be perfect. The second an acrylic would break, I'd be running to the salon, and I'm still the same way, but in terms of gel nails. I invested, it goes 100 Canadian dollars into a gel kit from Amazon, and I still use it to this day, and I swear by it. They last way longer than a typical manicure you would do at home, and you save so much money. The first few times, of course, it's gonna take getting used to like make them look really good. And I'm gonna be honest, like mine look great, but they don't look like a professional. But most people are not paying attention to your nails. Like a lot of the times, even when they do chip, like you think it's horrible, but you've probably complimented women on their nails before, and they respond with, "Oh my goodness," and then you notice afterwards when they call it out that they're overgrown. But a lot of girls don't notice that. Get a gel nail lamp. I swear by it, it's life-changing. It's gonna look great. That is something you need to do for spring and to get yourself looking great for summer. And the final thing I do on a weekly basis is hair oil. This is something I have started because if you listen to the 2023 goals podcast, I wanted to really dive deep into hair care. And I recently invested in rosemary and mint oil from Amazon, and I just once or twice a week, whenever I have time at night, I go and pour the oil onto my scalp. I massage it in, I massage it all the way down to the ends of my hair, and then I throw my hair up in a bun or a protective hairstyle before I sleep. I go to sleep, I wake up, and I wash the oil out of my hair, and oh my goodness, my hair has never been so shiny. I feel like it's starting to feel healthier too, because my hair is a little bit dry because I do use heat on it more often than I should, but it has changed the game for me. So girlies, scalp massager, gel nail kit, dry brush, and the hair oil. And you don't have to try like the ones from Sephora. I wanted to, but I wanted to make sure I had built up the habit before I go and actually invest in the high quality products. And honestly, I don't even know if I will now because my $20 hair oil from Amazon has been working great for me. So this is a reminder, thrift it if you can. Don't go out and buy everything I said right now. Like sit on it, make sure it's something you actually want, because in this podcast, you girlies know, I'm all about making smart financial choices, and I don't believe in, going out and buying like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff just because some influencers recommending it to you. This is not sponsored. These are things I genuinely love, but just do this over. If you don't have everything I said in this podcast, do it slowly. Like don't go ahead and like spend all of your savings on this just to glow up. There's so many other ways you can glow up without actually spending money. But of course, I know the girlies like to hear the product recommendations, so that's what they're here for. Okay, so let's talk about the monthly habits I do to make sure I'm maintaining my beauty, I'm glowing up, and I'm looking good all the way through spring to summer. The one thing I do is dermablade. I have been doing this for a long time. It's super scary the first time you do it because it's shaving your face, but girls, do not make the mistake of using our men's razor. It's an actual just one-bladed razor. You can get them on Amazon or at your local beauty store, and it's changed the game for me. I don't do this often. It's once a month, hence why it's in the monthly category, but I do find that after I do it, my skin is really soft. It feels great. My makeup stays on. It looks better, but pro tip, do not do this like the morning of an event because it's gonna like give you the best skin ever. I typically do it like 2 nights before a big event of the month, like whatever. Usually I have one event each month I go to, and like I'll wait to do it until then. And then it's like at the prime, because I find the first day my skin gets really red. You might cut yourself. I never have. That's why I never would recommend doing it like the day before something big. Then the next 2 days I find my skin just looks so glowy and it looks great. Don't do this dry. Always make sure you have a face oil on your face or you will cut yourself. It won't be pretty. So try out the dermablading. You can get the razors on Amazon or essentially anywhere you buy beauty products. I also do this for my eyebrows too. Back again, I became so self-sufficient during COVID, and I learned to just do my eyebrows on my own, and I use the dermablade razors to just touch up my eyebrow shape whenever I want, and it's worked for me. So I usually do this on a monthly basis, and maybe like as I get some hair growth, I just will go quickly in the morning before doing my makeup and just touch up those hairs, and it takes like 5 seconds. I also dye my own eyebrows once a month, and this is great. I got the kit, again, shocker, from Amazon, but it has worked wonders. And I find when like for the first week after doing it, I don't even have to like use eyebrow products because they just look so dark. It's amazing. Such a great tip for the spring and summer, because I know a lot of girls wear less makeup in the spring or summer, so this is a great way to make your makeup routine a little bit more sustainable, or just wear it less makeup. I know girls love to do the eyelash extensions. I don't, because I find them extremely expensive. But the eyebrow dye, like the kit, just like the gel nail lamp, is a little bit of like investment. I think I paid like $35-$40 for mine, but that was like 3 years ago, and I am still using that same kit today. So it's worth the money, 100%. I also self-tan like once a month. Don't use any fancy tanners, just I use the Hawaiian Tropics tanner, and I find it smells great. A pro tip for that, what I do, it recommends to just like shake the bottle, put it on, and then wash it off after like 15 minutes. I put it on before going to bed. I wear a very dark sweatsuit set. It's like full arms, full legs, and I go to bed with like an old blanket because the tan will kind of wear off a little bit into your clothes, which is why I recommend wearing a dark and old sweatsuit and sheets. But then I wash it off the next morning, and I find my tan looks a lot better. I exfoliate right before I do it too, and it stays for a lot longer. So that is my daily, weekly, and monthly beauty tips that I have to essentially like glow up sustainably, because I know with a lot of glow up tip podcasts, or just the glow up tips you probably hear about, you do them once in a while, but it's hard to stick to a routine. So this is how I make a routine for myself that's sustainable without having to spend like 4 hours every single night trying to glow up. These tips are really easy. They sound like a lot, but I trust me, if you implement them and start doing like the daily, weekly, monthly routines, you are going to glow up. You're going to feel like the hottest version of you in spring, which is what we want. Okay, so the next thing on the spring reset checklist is to make spring goals and vision boards. I do this every single month, but I know it can be a little overwhelming because it does take quite a bit of time. So you can always just do this every season. And going back to what I said before, treat new seasons like the start of a new year. Reflect on yourself, reflect on your growth, redefine your goals, see if they still matter to you or where you need to pivot, or the goals that you've forgotten about that you do still want to do but you're just not working on. Go and take a step back and look at everything and then redefine your goals. I have a specific way to make my goals and make them last, and I find that a lot of the goals I set, I end up achieving throughout the month or throughout the year especially. So these are my tips for that. The first thing I do is essentially I want to visualize what I want my life to look like. Pinterest all the way. Go to Pinterest and just pin a bunch of things. Pin like your dream life. Pin the dream woman you want to be. Then after you spend a little bit of time doing that, make it a fun activity, drink your little iced coffee when you do it, then stop. Then look back at that Pinterest board and see common similarities with all of the images that you pinned. Is it a lot of health and fitness? Is it a lot of like beautiful aesthetics into your apartment? Is it a lot of hair care, beauty, or style? Like, figure out where you say, okay, I'm gravitating to wanting to level up my style. I want to level up my apartment. I want to work out more, etc. And take that vision that you made for yourself without you even thinking about the goals and turn them into realistic goals and to becoming that dream woman on your Pinterest board. That's what I do. So then essentially after I redefine those goals that I set for myself, I go back and take the pins of like whatever I did, the one that resonates the most with that goal. And often as I make the goals, I branch off into other goals too. So if like there's a picture that doesn't resonate with one of the goals I've added, I'll go and find that, screenshot them, and put them into a collage. Now set that collage as your phone background, and voila, every single morning you wake up, you look at it. I like to stare at my lock screen for at least a minute every day to remind myself of what I'm working towards, and I find that is a great way of setting goals and actually sticking to them. Now with that being said, I also believe in setting somewhat of a realistic goal, while it also is you have to work for it, and redefining your wins as well. For instance, if I wanted to get 1,000 followers on TikTok, I could set that goal for myself, but if I get 900, that's still a win because you've made progress, and I think that that's a good benchmark for you. The monthly goals don't have to be always about reaching the actual goal itself, but it's, do you make consistent progress every single day to reach that goal? Because at the end of the day, that is going to be what makes you the woman of your dreams. You can set a goal saying, I want to lose 50 pounds in 1 month, but that is extremely hard to do in a lot of cases too. It's very unhealthy, but maybe instead you are working out more frequently, you are eating more healthy, and that to me is still a win. So don't get hard on yourself if you're setting big goals and you're not achieving them spot on. I think achievements are you consistently working towards it, and is it sustainable for your lifestyle? The lifestyle changes, that's gonna be the thing that defines you as a person, and that is to me the best form of growth, and that is success in itself. So here on the podcast, I will share some of my goal examples. I know I love to hear these from other people. I'm like, yes, and I write them all down. So I won't gatekeep. I will share some of my goals for spring 2023. I do this on a monthly basis, but in general, they still apply. So that is to save $800 for a trip I am going on in August. I also want to start working out for 15 minutes a day. And I know that's shocking, like only 15 minutes, but hear me out. Back to what I said before. 15-minute workouts, like workout videos, are sustainable for me. I can fit 15 minutes into every single day, and I'd rather work out for 15 minutes every day and keep up that habit than work out for an hour once a week because I'm forcing myself to. Of course, I'm still making it a priority to keep going to the gym, to keep swimming laps, to keep going on walks and hikes, but regardless of that, I don't want to, it's hard to push yourself every day for different reasons. Some days you're not feeling it, some days you're busier than others, but setting that goal for 15-minute workouts daily will consistently put me into the mindset of, prioritizing my health and fitness every single day. And when I do a 15-minute workout every day, that's going to change a lot about my life. It's going to change the way I think about fueling my body. It's going to change the way I just think about exercise in general and reframe my mindset to not hate exercise, but to see it as a form of, something I can actually enjoy. I want to learn how to make an espresso martini. Such a fun thing, and set fun goals for spring. I love going out to get drinks, and I love espresso martinis, and I have an espresso machine. So this spring I want to learn how to make my own, and I also want to become a better cook. So I set it a goal for myself to nail 3 healthy dinner recipes, and that's a fun way of learning how to cook, prioritizing that better, and then again going back to health and fitness, making them healthy, and that is a lot of fun. I also want to try to experiment with more hairstyles opposed to just having it either curly or straight or up in a claw clip. I want to be a little bit more expressive. It's spring. It's time to step out of our comfort zone and experiment. It's like the start of a new season. It's new beginnings. So what a better time to experiment with your hair, or again, maybe experiment with your style. Try out a few things and have fun with it. Fall back in love with that creative style, the creative side of fashion or style. That is a goal of mine. And I have many, many more, but for the sake of time, I just will not save them. But if you're interested, reach out to me and I will 100% share my notion with you guys and all of my different goals if you would like to achieve the same goals as me. Okay, wouldn't be a spring reset without spring cleaning tips. So let's get right into it. The 15-minute daily tidy. Do you guys realize the theme? 15 minutes, but 15 minutes is a great way to start a habit every single day. And it is, a lot of people can find those 15-minute little pockets of time. So what I like to do is at whatever time of my day, whenever I have 15 minutes, I set a timer and I go. I clean up one zone or just pick up whatever is around. It could be different every day. It could just be, okay, 15 minutes, I'm going to focus on the kitchen, or 15 minutes, I'm just going to pick up the clutter around the apartment, and I do it. And once the timer goes off, if I'm still in the mood, and often I find that I am, I will continue cleaning. But if not, then I tell myself, you know what, it's a win. I still tidied for 15 minutes, and then I call it a day. Of course, I deep clean during spring, but I know that a lot of people, deep cleaning can be pretty self-explanatory. So if you are interested though, one great tip I have is to download the Fly Lady app. Do it. If you don't have it, this is spring cleaning, but consistent. You won't even have to do a lot of spring cleaning if you download this app and actually keep up with it. Essentially what it is, it's an app that tells you the daily and weekly tasks and monthly tasks, going back to, again, a theme of how you can clean up your house. So it gives you a list, a checklist that you can, it's literally interactive, that says, okay, did you sweep today? Okay, did you dust today? And it reminds you to do all those things. But then it also sets each week into a different zone of your house to deep clean and gives you the tips or the task list of everything you should do to deep clean that you might even not be considering doing. So for instance, one week will be the master bedroom and the closet, and it will give you a list of all the things you need to clean up with that to deep clean it. And then the next week will be the living room, etc. And that is a great way to spring clean, but not have it be so intense where it's a whole weekend of stressing and burning yourself out just to clean your house. So I recommend doing that. I personally keep up to date with that. So in terms of my spring cleaning, I don't have that much to deep clean. I do live in a condo, so it also is a lot smaller. But if you have not downloaded that app, or if you're struggling to find a good deep cleaning routine, download the Fly Lady app. It is great. I also tried to implement, and this is new for spring, the habit of the week. So my boyfriend and I will pick a habit that we are not that great at, like for instance, putting the dishes right into the dishwasher. We will often in the morning, set them in the sink and forget about it. And it takes just an extra 30 seconds to just wash it off and put it in the dishwasher, and it would save ourselves so much time after work. So that is the habit of this week. We're going to try and always put the dishes right into the dishwasher, and then hopefully over, the next months or so of spring, we're going to have some great habits that we don't even think about doing. For instance, a long time ago, I used to be horrible with cleaning my room. I was a teenager and I never used to make my bed. But I came into this idea of I'm going to start making my bed every day, which is such a simple task, but you'll be surprised. A lot of girlies don't do it. And if you're a girlie that doesn't do that, that is okay, but just try this out. I started making my bed every single day, way back when I was 19 years old. And I noticed once I started doing that, it became such a habit for me where it was like brushing my teeth, where now if I don't make the bed, I'm either really, really ill or really, really down. And my boyfriend will go and look, and I very rarely do this. Literally maybe once every 6 months I won't make the bed. He'll know. Oh my goodness. But it becomes such a habit for me where it feels weird to just not do it. And I've noticed it's like the domino effect. Now that I make my bed, back when I was 19 and I established the habit, I started putting my clothes away after I would wear them instead of throwing them on the ground. I started just becoming more organized, and it changed my life. It's as simple as starting one small habit that will set the tone for a giant lifestyle change. Other tip I have is drop bins. If you don't know what a drop bin is, or you probably have different words for it, I call it a drop bin. Have little bins around your house in high traffic areas where you just don't know how to organize things. For instance, right next to me is a bin filled with my boyfriend's cords and gaming stuff. I don't know where men get these cords or what even they are for, but they have hundreds of them everywhere. And it's impossible to organize. I don't even know what these cords are for. So I decided to implement the drop bin, where it's a pretty little aesthetic bin. You can throw all of his junk, I shouldn't say junk, but knickknacks in there and stuff that he loves. And then you close the lid and it looks beautiful and gorgeous to me, and he's happy and satisfied because he has access to all of his belongings in one nice little area. And that works, but one bin can get full pretty quick. So I've implemented drop bins everywhere. On his bedside table, in our linen closet, in the closet that has our shoes, in the front entryway for his keys. I also have drop bins for myself as well, but I find I don't need them as frequently because I am a little type A with my organization, so I find myself just putting it away into that spot it belongs in. But this is a great way for if you have a partner, if you have a roommate who might be more messier, or if you have kids, drop bins are amazing. So put one aesthetic bin in every room of your house, and the magic, it's going to be beautiful. Okay, now let's talk about health and fitness tips for spring, for a little spring reset. I already talked about the 15-minute workout, which I recommend to everybody. And it doesn't have to be something intense. It could just be with whatever feels good to you. Some days I want to do a 15-minute dance video because I really don't want to work out, but dancing I love. It makes me feel beautiful, it makes me feel feminine, and it's fun, so I'll do that instead. Some days are stretching, some days are the high intense 15-minute HIIT workouts, some days are weightlifting. Whatever I feel in the mood for, I let myself do and pick those videos that I do for 15 minutes based on that. I also find that all of the time when I am in a good mood or just feeling good after doing the 15-minute video, it's enough for me to feel motivated to keep going. So a 15-minute commitment to me, it's even if I'm discouraged or not wanting to do it, I'm it's just 15 minutes. But what you'll find is a lot of the times, on most days, once you start doing it, it's just the habit of you have to overcome the hump of working out. And then once you get into that 15-minute video, you're often oh, actually that wasn't too bad. Maybe I'll do another one, or maybe I'll do some squats. And that's a great way again of making the small commitment, redefining your mind and how you think about exercise, and eventually you'll be surprised at how much more you can accomplish in a week. I also stopped calorie counting. This is something I was doing for a little bit a few months ago, thinking that it was going to help me really cut down on the extra little bit of pounds I want to lose for spring and the summer. But I am a type of girl who is so obsessed with everything. I started to count. It just became unhealthy. And it's crazy how many calories are in things. But I also just started finding myself not wanting to eat avocados because they're high in calories, or nuts. But that is not a good way to think. And I don't want to gatekeep myself by a certain amount of calories and not enjoy the foods that I want, eat avocado toast because it's a higher calorie option. So I stopped calorie counting, and I actually ended up losing more weight. What I did, and I'm by means not a dietitian, but I just eat when I'm hungry, and I try to make it a healthy meal. In the morning, if I want a snack, I'll grab an apple or some grapes. If I want cheese and crackers, I'll have a little bit. Maybe I'll cut down the portions on that. Once in a while, I am a sweet girly, and if I don't have one sweet a day, I will die. being dramatic, but I seriously will. Like, back a few weeks ago, I was like, I'm not having any sugar in the house because then I won't eat it. I went so crazy, I literally made a mug cake out of like the recipes I have for or the ingredients I have for baking, because I needed my fix of chocolate, which sounds bad. Like, am I addicted to sugar? Maybe a little bit, but you know what? Like, that is who I am, and I refuse to want to live in a world where I just have to eat healthy all the time and I can't have my chocolates or my ice creams once in a while. So I will have a little treat of the day. I will cut the portion size on that, but I let myself have it, and I find that I actually don't binge eat when I do give myself a little bit of a treat. And if I do, and it makes me want to eat healthier for the rest of the day, so I tell myself, I'm going to eat my salad for lunch, I'm going to eat chicken and broccoli or whatever for dinner, and then I'm going to have a little treat and enjoy it, watch my little Bachelor Mondays or whatever, and eat my popcorn or whatever I want that day. So I let myself have that, and that's a great way of not depriving myself. And I've noticed I've started losing weight since doing that, because it's a sustainable lifestyle change. It's not a diet, it's not a fad, it's not me calorie counting for everything. It's just me eating healthier and enjoying life. Another tip I have for spring and how you can get healthier and just reset your life and like define new habits is make like hanging with friends and family into like a workout as well, like 2 in 1. Instead of like going and getting milkshakes with a friend, how about you can get your milkshakes too, or get smoothies and go for a walk. It's spring, it's warmer outside, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, it's beautiful. Go and say, like, next time, instead of hanging out with like drinking coffee on a couch with your friends, say, hey girl, let's go for a walk, let's go for a hike, let's do this. So even like walking around the mall, that's still movement. Get moving with your friends and family. Like, find ways to incorporate exercise into hanging out with them. Go rock climbing, go biking, go swimming, like find those like cool activities. Go to Zumba. Like, that's a great way of seeing friends and family and working out, because I know for us busy girls who work a 9 to 5, after like we work, it's either do I be social and hang out with someone, and then it's hang out, go to bed, or then the days where it's just real life, where it's like clean, cook dinner, hang out with your boyfriend or husband or whatever, watch TV and go to sleep. But when you hang out with friends, like if you are struggling to find time to work out, try to do that instead of just being like, let's hang out and do whatever, or go to dinner. Why don't you go for a swim? Why don't you go rollerblading? Like, find ways to be like do movement when hanging with people. Okay, and the last tip I have for Hot Girl Spring is download the app 28. I never used to listen to the whole cycle tracking tip things and podcasts, because I was like, oh, does it really matter? It's just a period. Like, it comes once a month, whatever. Girls, let me tell you, I have done this for the last month, and my life has changed. I downloaded the app, specifically the app 28, and it's great. Right at the beginning, you can put in if you have irregular cycles, or if they're on if they are regular, mine are, and then it takes you into like this gorgeous app. Like, and by gorgeous, I literally mean like it is so aesthetically pleasing. It makes me like excited to open this app every day, and it will tell you like which of the 4 phases of your cycle you are in, and tell you like what to expect based on that exact day of your cycle. And it makes so much sense to me. It's like, for some days, like when you're just feeling a little bit annoyed for no reason, or you're just feeling emotional, a lot of the times I just would like think, oh my god, there's a problem in my life, like what is so wrong, and I'd want to like change everything about myself, or I'd be so down. But like when I open this app, I'm like, oh my goodness, it is not me. Like, it's me, but it's not me. Like, it's just my emotions, it's my hormones affecting the way I'm behaving and thinking. And when you get insight on that, I feel like it just helps you as a person just understand your body, and it's so powerful. It takes 1 second in the day to go and open this app up. You can see what day of your cycle you're on, what phase of your cycle you're in, what to expect. You can even go as deep. This app will tell you what workouts to do based on your cycle, and that's a great way, again, of being kind to your body and working out based on what phase of your cycle you are in. It also will tell you what foods you should be eating, and there's a whole app too, like a section of the app that will even say like what to do to be romantic, what to do to glow up, what to do with your style or with your friendships. Like, there's a whole different section of like social, etc. you can tap on and it makes recommendations of like how you can change your life, or like what you should do in that phase of your life that's gonna be the most honoring to your body. And my goodness, my life has changed. So girls, if you have not done this, it's free. Download the app 28 this spring. Get to know your body a little bit more. And trust me, by the next podcast, about the 2 weeks, you're going to be like, Madison, amazing tip. Okay, now let's talk about spring style and how to refresh your style in spring. If you're anything like me, every single time there's a new season, I look at everything and I'm like, not my style anymore. And that's on being in your 20s, because I feel like with every year you're in your 20s, you grow up a little bit and you elevate your style a little bit more, and like you find more and more of your clothing is a little bit more juvenile. And that was my thing with like the whole, I was super into cottagecore, and I never really was into Y2K, but I'm sure the Y2K girlies now will be feeling this too, where you look at your stuff and you're like, a whole year has gone by and this does not reflect my personality anymore. But then you're stuck between, okay, well, it's not a sustainable choice to go and buy a whole new wardrobe, but I don't love what I'm wearing. And it's the whole thing every single season. But I'm here to tell you, it's okay. My first tip with a new spring style when you want to completely reinvent yourself or just like feel fresh for the spring is work with what you got. Do the little closet inventory I recommended at the beginning of this podcast. See what you have and have fun with it. Work within it. Like try some new stuff that you might think is a little like out there for some people, but if you like it, rock it, and then redefine your style in that way. You can also do things like changing up the style of your hair or finding new makeup things, like new ways to do your makeup on TikTok. Like have fun like that and be expressive through hair and makeup as well. And that's a more sustainable and cheaper option to really be expressive with your newfound style for spring. Another tip I have is to sell old clothes and then take that money and reinvest it into new items that you really like and be sustainable with that. You know, I have found in my 20s to really invest in classic, elegant pieces. The little black dress or the dress like what I'm wearing now. If you're on YouTube, I'm wearing a nice, solid color blue cocktail dress. And that is a dress I am going to be able to wear until I don't fit into it anymore for the rest of the time until I don't fit into it, God forbid. But it will happen probably as we age, regardless. Do that. Like when you're gonna spend the extra money, invest in the quality, buy things that you know are going to be timeless. It's kind of like when you think back to weddings, you should see like a difference in some brides, where some brides' weddings or wedding dresses are so timeless, you would wear it right now. And then there's some weddings, like no shade, but people, let's say, who did chevron print or animal print, there has been some like in the 2010s. If you look back now, you just know, oh, that was a 2010 wedding, and it's not necessarily timeless. Now, if you were that person, like that is okay. But what I'm saying is, when you're going to spend that much money on investing into a quality piece of clothing, try to think about like that timeless effect. Like what is going to be something that never goes out of style? Pick that item that's going to be worth the investment, and then you can make so many different outfits based on like one little black dress, for instance. I am a big believer on shopping smart, thrift first, and if you can't thrift the item, I'm going to give you a little marketing girly hack. I work in digital marketing and email marketing, and I can tell you that there is almost always a coupon code for abandoning your cart, unless it's like very elite brand. So girls, what you need to do, create an account on whatever item that you want, okay? Make sure you put a password on it. You don't even have to, but sometimes like the brands will want to make sure you have an account before sending this coupon. Do that, like enroll in their email list, put whatever you want into that cart, leave it in for a little bit, and then abandon it. And I can guarantee you within 2 days to a week, you will get an email with a coupon code for that item. So if you really, really want it and you've decided you want it, no matter what it is, just abandon your cart. Wait a little bit. Not only just like waiting is more sustainable, because I find like when I watch content, I'm like, yes, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then I used to buy it, and then by the time it would come in, I'm like, oh, I'm so over this phase. So just waiting it's a good idea to make sure that you actually want the piece or whatever. And then when you get the coupon code, if you still want it at the time, beautiful. Another thing I did, like a quick little example, is I'm going to the Shania Twain concert in summer, so I am already looking for the cowgirl boots before they blow up in price in summer, but they've gotten there. Like these cowgirl boots everywhere I look are like $80. I've tried to thrift them, can't find the ones I want in my style, so I have to buy them. But I refuse to spend money on boots that I know I'm just never gonna wear because they're not really necessarily my style. It's more like a concert outfit. So what I did was I subscribed to the Just Fab membership and got these boots on like a big discount, because if you subscribe your first time, the shoes are almost free. The whole shoes, including shipping, was like $30 Canadian, and then you can skip the month every month. I used to do this way back in the day and just skip every month, but in like a few days, I'm gonna cancel the membership. Sorry, Just Fab, I love you, but I just can't afford monthly shoes, and I don't want to skip the month. And then like maybe in like another year from now, I'll go and just make a new email and get the discount. I'm sorry, but here I don't gatekeep the tips, and I'm telling you that works. So if you're a girly who needs new concert shoes, that is a great way to do it. Okay, ladies, so the last thing on the little spring reset tips on how you can glow up and feel amazing and redefine your life this spring is making a spring bucket list. Spring is not just about, cleaning and glowing up and leveling up your life. It's also about enjoying the season and having fun. It's a fresh start. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining. It marks the point of the end of a gloomy, dark winter, and we need to celebrate that. So make a spring bucket list of things you want to do and, to incorporate fun and laughter into your life. For instance, you can make it a priority to go on a spring picnic with a friend and dress up in beautiful dresses, make really aesthetic, like a Pinterest type of lunch, and a little cute basket that you could thrift if you don't have one, and take aesthetic pictures. This would be great content for a TikTok too. I know a lot of girls who listen to this are TikTok girlies, so that is a great idea as well. Or try something you've never done before. I wanted to try float therapy, which is essentially where you go into this pod of salt water and just float for an hour, and apparently it's supposed to be really good for your health and your mind, and it sounds really kind of scary because it looks futuristic. That's super cool, so I am gonna do that this spring. You could also do fun things like go to a drive-in and go ride cute bikes. You could go thrifting with your friends, dye Easter eggs. You could start a garden, going to the garden shop and picking out pretty flowers and starting your own garden. Here, I have a balcony, so I can't actually plant plants, but what I do is have little planters, and I can find, begonias, for example, that don't need a lot of sunlight and they're really low maintenance plants, and they're actually affordable. And I planted the begonias, and back in the day, because I don't have a lot of direct sunlight because there's buildings in front of me in the city, and everyone's they're gonna die, but my begonias lasted all the way until the fall when it was so cold they eventually died. But do that, that's a fun way of being creative and expressive during spring. You can even go as far as to buy planter pots from Dollarama and paint them and have a little girls painting day, and then go to the flower shop and get a little plant. If you live in just a bedroom, in your parents' house too, or with roommates, and you don't have a balcony, you can get a cactus instead, and that's such a cute way of bringing life back into your home, bringing a little bit more excitement and joy, and just enjoying spring, because the reset is a whole lifestyle reset. It's making healthy habits for spring. It's feeling good in our bodies for spring and honoring them. It is leveling up our style in ways that make us feel confident and beautiful and sexy for spring. And it's of course about the spring cleaning too, and maintaining it, girlies, with the Fly Lady app. It's gonna change your life, I promise. Okay, and that is all my tips for the things I do to glow up during spring, and everything to do with spring reset. I hope you like these tips and found them helpful. I hope you guys have a lovely Easter and a very, very happy spring. And if you have not already done so yet, follow me on TikTok. It's at the Get Up and Glow podcast _. I am been growing on there, and it's it makes me so excited every single time I come up to a new follower. And thank you so much. If you are on Spotify, subscribe to the podcast. I post episodes every other Sunday. And if you made it to the end, I just want to say thank you so much for all of the support. I started this podcast in early January, and it was a goal of mine, to just create. I felt I've been wanting to do this for so long, and I was holding myself back a little bit, but I am so passionate about getting organized and improving my femininity and just self-growth, so much so where I feel I could talk about it for ever and ever. So thank you so much for giving me a platform to do that on, and for all of your support. I genuinely, it means the world to me, and I wake up every morning with every new listener and every new follower on Spotify, and I just feel so blessed. So thank you, ladies. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up to help me in the algorithm. And until my next episode, thank you so much and have a great spring. Bye, everyone.